The President's Entitlements Repeal Bill has been presented to Parliament by Minister of Justice Harshana Nanayakkara, marking a significant step towards revoking special privileges extended to former presidents and their widows. This move, however, was not without controversy, as a heated argument erupted in the chamber when opposition members raised concerns about the timing of the bill's presentation. The opposition contended that the bill could not be tabled today, August 7th, as the required number of days before presentation had not been fulfilled. This procedural objection led to a tense exchange on the floor of Parliament, highlighting the contentious nature of the proposed legislation. The journey of this bill began on July 31st, when it was officially gazetted. The draft legislation aims to repeal the Presidents Entitlements Act, a law that has long been the subject of debate and scrutiny. The bill, its primary objective, is to eliminate the special privileges that have been afforded to former presidents and their widows, a move that has garnered both support and criticism from various quarters. This legislative initiative follows a series of governmental actions aimed at reforming the entitlement system for high-ranking officials. Earlier in July, the Cabinet of Ministers had given their approval to gazette the draft bill and present it in Parliament. This decision was a crucial step in the process of amending the Presidents Entitlements Act No. 4 of 1986, signaling the government's commitment to revisiting and potentially overhauling the existing system of privileges. The roots of this reform effort can be traced back to June, when the Cabinet granted approval to draft legislation with a broader scope. This earlier decision aimed not only at repealing the President's Entitlements Act No. 4 of 1986, but also the Parliamentary Pensions Law No. 1 of 1977. The comprehensive approach sought to end special privileges extended to former presidents, their widows, and former members of Parliament, reflecting a wider push for fiscal responsibility and equity in public office benefits. The presentation of the bill in Parliament marks a crucial phase in the legislative process. It opens the door for debate, scrutiny, and potential amendments before any final decision is made. The controversy surrounding its introduction underscores the complex nature of reforming long-standing entitlements and the procedural intricacies involved in parliamentary proceedings. As the bill moves through the legislative process, it is likely to face further scrutiny and debate. Proponents argue that it represents a necessary step towards fiscal responsibility and a more equitable system of benefits for public officials. They contend that the current entitlements are overly generous and out of step with the economic realities faced by the majority of citizens. Critics, on the other hand, may argue that these entitlements serve a purpose in ensuring the dignity and security of former heads of state and their families. They might contend that completely stripping away these privileges could deter qualified individuals from seeking high office or expose former leaders to undue hardship or security risks after leaving office. The heated argument that arose in Parliament over the bill's presentation highlights the sensitive nature of the issue. It also underscores the importance of adhering to parliamentary procedures and timelines, even in matters of significant public interest. The opposition's objection to the timing of the presentation serves as a reminder of the checks and balances inherent in the legislative process. As the debate unfolds, it is likely to touch on broader issues of governance, fiscal responsibility, and the role of public office in society. The outcome of this legislative effort could have far-reaching implications for how Sri Lanka approaches the benefits and entitlements of its highest office holders, both during and after their terms of service. The gazette of the bill on July 31st was a significant milestone in this process. It formally initiated the legislative journey of the President's Entitlements Repeal Bill, setting the stage for its presentation in Parliament. The gazette process is a crucial step in Sri Lankan lawmaking, as it makes the proposed legislation publicly available and starts the clock on the required waiting period before parliamentary presentation. The Cabinet's approval earlier in July to gazette and present the draft bill in Parliament was a clear indication of the government's resolve to move forward with this reform. This decision followed extensive discussions and deliberations within the government, reflecting a consensus among ministers on the need to revisit the entitlement system. The broader context of this legislative effort is important to consider. The move to repeal the Presidents Entitlements Act comes at a time when many countries are reevaluating the benefits and privileges accorded to former heads of state. It reflects a global trend towards greater scrutiny of public expenditure and a push for more austere approaches to governmental benefits. In Sri Lanka, this initiative is part of a larger conversation about governance, public finance, and the expectations placed on those who hold high office. The proposed repeal of both the Presidents Entitlements Act and the Parliamentary Pensions Law signals a comprehensive approach to reforming the benefits system for top officials. The decision in June to draft legislation aimed at repealing both acts was a bold move by the cabinet. It demonstrated a willingness to tackle not just presidential entitlements, but also the benefits enjoyed by former members of Parliament. This comprehensive approach suggests a broader reform agenda aimed at streamlining government expenditure and aligning official benefits more closely with public expectations. As the bill progresses through Parliament, it is likely to generate significant public interest and debate. The outcome of this legislative process could set important precedents for how Sri Lanka manages the transition of power and supports its former leaders. It may also influence public perceptions of political office and the expectations placed on those who serve in the highest positions of government. The presentation of the President's Entitlements Repeal Bill in Parliament marks the beginning of what is likely to be a complex and potentially contentious legislative journey. As lawmakers debate the merits and implications of the proposed changes, they will need to balance considerations of fiscal responsibility, public perception, and the practical needs of those who have served in the highest office of the land. The heated argument that erupted over the bill's presentation serves as a reminder of the high stakes involved and the passionate views held on all sides of this issue. It also highlights the importance of procedural integrity in the legislative process. Even when dealing with matters of significant public interest and political importance. As the debate unfolds in the coming weeks and months, it will be crucial for all stakeholders to engage in constructive dialogue and careful consideration of the long-term implications of any changes to the entitlement system. The outcome of this legislative effort could have lasting effects on Sri Lanka's political landscape and its approach to governance for years to come.